there you, and welcome to 2 million NURGLE cultists, which are about to swarm these Imperial God defenses. You asked for a rematch, ladies and gentlemen, and oh my, are we ever gonna do one? So we are using the same setup from our last video where we tried to drown 1 million zombies, only this time it's the Imperial God defending against a NURGLE plague cult. Will NURGLE's forces be able to overwhelm the Imperial God, or will they drown in the depths of the water? As always, if you do enjoy this content, do leave a like and consider subscribing, as that's the best way to support the channel. Now, let's get on with the slaughter. Here we go then, ladies and gentlemen. The rematch of the century. We've got exactly the same defense setup, only we've got Imperial Guard conscripts defending these first couple of waves, and it's the Death Korps at the very end who will be making the last stand. Only this time, we haven't only got 1 million zombies coming in. We've got 2 million cultists this time, and I'm really hoping that we can turn a lot of this into a blood-red lake, and oh my, look at that already. Absolutely fantastic. The Imperial Guard firepower here, already extracting oodles of blood from the cultists as they try to make their way forward. There we go, first contact is being made now as they smash here into the Imperial Guard lines. Imperial Guard auto guns here, trying to keep back that Chaos Cult. Well, look at that, Plague and Pestilence has descended upon the front lines of our Imperial Guard. Already, man. Oh my, the body pile is really starting to build up already. I love this little pink color that's slowly starting to leak from the front lines. That's really cool. But yeah, Imperial Guard defenders here, some nice overlapping firepower. You can see that we've got a couple of lemon Russies in the center over here. These are going to be putting invaluable firepower to that front line, being able to take out hundreds and hundreds of cultists with their cannons. I love how the cultists are flung back, though. It does make some weird little body piles every now and then. You see these little weird glitchy things. It's all right. It's just shelter from the rain, guys. That's all it is. Enjoy it while it lasts. But yeah, speaking of, the rain is coming down yet again. We have got flash flood enabled, which means that the map is slowly but surely flooding. So the zombies or plague cult here, I don't know, whatever you want to call them, they've really got the work cut out for them. They've got to make their way through the Imperial defenses in decent time, because the Imperials basically hold all the high ground. And look at that Chaos Cult, man, smashing into that Imperial Guard line. The blood has started to flow around the Imperial Guardsman's ankles here, mixing with the water. It's starting to get real deep in places. But so far so good for the Imperial defenses. 42,000 kills. And the plague has not yet enveloped the entire defense. I think this is going to hold out pretty nice and strong. But look at that horde in the background though, guys. That's massive. And some of them are going to start making their way back to that second line. You see the second line there? Tanks already opening up, lending their fire support right into that into the Chaos Horde. Now, realistically, not a single bullet can actually miss the Chaos Horde. Someone's going to get hit somewhere. Look at all that blood, though, just trickling from the front lines, mixing with the rainwater. If you zoom out, you can really start to see the effect of it. Looks so cool. You can actually see where all the tank shells have been landing. All them little clumps like these down here, yeah, that's where the tank shells have been landing and killing loads of the cultists. The cultists, though, struggling to actually envelop the Imperial lines at the moment. We're starting to get this really cool body pile. The Imperials here using it as a rudimentary wall. That's basically what the Imperials do in this game. They sort of just build forts on location. There we go. They're finally starting to get them numbers wrapping around. You can see it in the far distance as well. Where the water's getting too deep and they can't pass through, they're having to come round, and I think they're going to go straight for that rear defense there. Oh my god, I think the Imperials are at risk of drowning on our front line. Little Timmy, get out your rubber dinghy. Fun for the entire family. Only not if you're an Imperial Guardsman. Yeah, look, there we go. The drowning effect has started to take place. Imperials here drowning in the pus, the blood, and the water. It's a horrible way to go, ladies and gentlemen. That water is probably infected beyond belief with all the horrible blood that's coming out of these ox-ridden cultists. I mean, you can literally see, look at them. They're covered in boils and sores and pus. It's horrific, man. You'll probably catch some horrible STD just being near the guys. You can see, though, that the cultists are making their way there back towards the second defense line. The water has started to get deeper and deeper, though. You can tell it's hampering some of the advances here. But so far, so good for our defenders. They just need to buy enough time, and they're certainly doing that at the front line. I mean, that blood is just flowing freely now. But yeah, they're really starting to drown. Oh, God. It's happening over there as well, look. A load of Imperials here, drowning in the blood of their enemies. I mean, it's a pretty grim way to go, especially against a NURGLE KULT. I mean, like I said, that water has got to be festering and fetid by now. But yeah, we are still holding that line. But surely NURGLE are making their way through, though. Look at this line. They've made their way over the corpses now and are pushing right into the conscripts. The poor old conscripts have done a hell of a job, though. That blood has actually been really detrimental to them. They've tried to hold the high ground. Look at all that! Oh my God. Little Timmy, get out your entire merchant fleet. Oh my God. That is some deep blood that we got going on here. Look at that. Magnificent. And it's really pinky coloured as well because of the constant rain. Oh my God, that is so insane. Let's zoom out and let's have a look at how much blood is actually around. Look at all that. That is like a chaos ritual bowl. It's a cereal bowl for the chaos. That's what this is. It looks like we're actually starting to get a proper assault going as well on our second defense now. The body piles starting to build up here. Chaos pushing right in. Thousands and thousands dying every second as they try to push this line. And let's go over here. Let's see, are any actually drowning in the water yet? No, it doesn't look like it's too deep in that place. They can actually get through there. Maybe on this side, though. I think we might start taking losses over here. Yeah. The water is starting to get deeper and deeper in places. And that is going to make it real difficult for the attackers. But again, look at this, holding out. The Imperials here dying more to drowning at the moment than they are the actual the cult. Kind of interesting. I love this tank as well, just sitting in the water. And the blood. And the whatever else is in it. My God, like I said, I dread to think what horrible, fetid nastiness is going to be all over this battlefield by the end of it. That's just the thing with NURGLE, though, isn't it? Even if you win the battle, there's a hell of a clean-up operation to do after. The janitors of the Imperial Guard have got to be some of the most busiest people on the planet. And I think the janitors of the Imperial Guard are actually probably the Inquisition. And yeah, most people probably don't like their methods of cleaning. You know, lots of fire and explosions and lots of bolt rounds to people's skulls. It's not a very good way of cleaning things up, but you can't deny the results. Look at this, though. The Chaos Cult here slamming into the second line of defense. Holding out yet again really nicely as we're coming up to 250,000 kills. But they still need to pick up that pace if they want to actually be able to defeat this cult. I mean, so many of them here are being held back by our first line of defense. But it does look like the walls are finally starting to crumble. They're swarming all over our tanks now, through the center of the defense. But this has been magnificent. I mean, someone tell Brittany, because the body piles are fantastic over here. But that Chaos Squad, I'm really looking forward to the surge as well. When they finally take out all these guys here, they're just going to start surging forwards over to that second line. It's going to be absolutely glorious. Also as well, once they finish in this area, the rain's just going to keep beating down, and slowly the blood is all going to trickle out and into the surrounding area. But poor old Imperials, they've tried to hold out this front line, and again, they did a remarkable job. They kept this Chaos Cult here for a very long time, allowing the rain to build up yet again. Imperial tanks have done a bang-up job as well, quite literally just smashing massive holes into the Chaos Cultist lines. Again, look, all these little patches that you can see out there, that's where the tank shells have just been annihilating the Chaos Cultists, which are, look at that, swarming all over the place. It's kind of hard to see because of the haze, but they are having to find so many different pathways now because of the water. So it definitely looks like these two puddles here, this one and this one over this side, are too deep now for them to pass through normally. That is insane. Oh my God. The Imperials now the second line fully under assault. It's not yet been enveloped, but it's definitely under full assault here. The last stand, oh my god, look at that body pile. When we zoom out, you can really see them body piles. That is insane. But yeah, Imperial Guard, last stand now. The only ones who haven't drowned. Still standing firm. Taking out hundreds and hundreds of cultists with them. I love how you can see them flopping backwards. That's really cool. Again, body piles absolutely magnificent today. The blood lake around it as well. Let's have a look at this. That is a lot of blood. That is just like a chaos ritual site. Oh my god. That looks fantastic. Let's go back over here though. So we have now got this second line of defense. We've got our 3 units here that are on guard. So these guys are actually melee units, these 3 units there. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when they get activated. Again, conscripts doing a really nice job holding this line, trying to keep the Chaos Cult back for as long as possible, just making them waste time. That water is building up. Actually, one thing we need to check on is how deep is the water getting over here, because there is a little bit of a dip. You can see it's starting to get the Kriegsman's feet wet. So basically the Imperial Guard are slightly at risk of drowning as well if the zombies take too long. Speaking of, look at that. The body piles yet again. At the moment, the blood has got a way to escape, so we're not at risk of drowning in the centre. That is until we get surrounded. When the body pile starts building up on this rear line, that is when we're going to be at risk of drowning. But for now, it can pile up a little bit and then pool out into here. That's going to be real nice for the Imperials. So we're just going to have to hope that this flanking manoeuvre here by the cultists is not going to be enough. You can see in the background now that a couple of them have gone for the proactive defense groups. Again, tank rounds from the Krieger line there, helping out a little bit. But yeah, these guys are going to storm forward and take the fight now right to the Chaos Cultists. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We'll let that develop a bit, because they've got, wow, they've got quite a large army heading right towards them. But yeah, this Imperial defense now doing really well. I do think, yeah, that the first defense has completely fallen now, and all the zombies there are going to be trying to make their way forward right into this defense, as these are now the closest target to them. The zombies, well, I keep calling them zombies because they look a bit like zombies, don't they, realistically? They're sort of like poxwalker, cult plague victims, I don't know. The cult, the plague cult, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what unit they are, because I've never really collected a NURGLE army. But I'm sure they're probably an official unit here. But they do pretty much just remind me of zombies / poxwalkers, so I keep calling them zombie poxwalkers. That's just going to be a done deal. But I appreciate they're probably they are their own thing here. The cult of NURGLE. But Imperial defenses, yet again, it has to be said, this delaying tactic is just going to work in their favour. I mean, look at that cult horde out there. It is having to work hard to get its units into this area. Again, we still haven't got the complete surround on our defenders here, which is really good. That, like I said, oh gosh, we are starting to get a little bit of a pool up of blood. Nothing too risky just yet. We're going to have to hope that it can just trickle out to the end here. How are our guys getting on over here with the proactive defense team? Okay, so they are getting a little bit surrounded at the moment. They are trying to push their way forward, but they are keeping a lot of cultists here. That is good. So we have got another 2 groups of them. Oh gosh, I don't even know if NURGLE is going to be able to path it. It's going to have to sort of like island hop from there to there, across there, and try and make their way across. Because these guys are actually at risk of drowning as well at some point. You see, this is the fine line that the Imperials have got to go through here. They can't hold out too long, otherwise they'll drown themselves. But we have made a nice dent in the Chaos Cult army here. 440,000 kills to 16,000. That's a good kill ratio. And the body piles are magnificent. But I'm really interested actually to see what starts happening after this position here, because this area looks a lot more swampy and a lot more waterlogged than the rest of the battlefield at the moment. Though it's kind of hard to tell because, yeah, a lot of the plague cults are actually just covering this area. It does look like, though, you've got these narrow little areas like this, where you can see that the bodies are piling up a little bit. So they're all trying to run across these narrow little galleyways that they're making. That's really kind of cool. Because what I think we'll do when we get to this the last final defense over here, we might hit a little bit of a time lapse, because I really want to see how they work all their way through all these little individual areas. I'd like to see all the little hordes building and the little body piles building, so we'll probably do that for the last stand there. Speaking of last stands, our Imperial Guard now doing excellent work. The kill counters have been really in their favour, holding out against this wave after wave of cultists here. The tanks as well have been absolutely invaluable. Look at that. Just how many they take out with each explosion there is ridiculous. They're pretty damn powerful. But we're holding on. We've got to hold on, guys. I think they're actually at risk of drowning yet again. So many defenders have drowned in this one. Everyone's drowning. The whole point is to drown, I guess. But yeah, I really love our body piles. Have we actually uncovered this one yet, or has it still got a lot of cultists on it? No, it's still got a lot of cultists on it who are worshipping the hill that they made. Can't blame them. It has become a famous chaos cult site now. But yeah, last stand here for the Imperial Guard on the second line of defense. Does look like Chaos are finally making their way across now to the other groups. They're taking an absolute pounding here. Oh, and I love how all the blood in the water is as well. That looks really cool. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, what we're quickly going to do then is we're going to hit a little bit of a time-lapse camera here. Like I said, I want to see how these forces meander their way over and right into the jaws of the waiting Death Korps here. And we'll also be able to see the water building up nicely. We'll be back in a second. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's come down to this. The Death Korps of Krieg actually managed to hold this final position, and they've only just started drowning here, as the water is now up to their armpits. And look at this. We slowly but surely converted the Chaos Cult here into a lovely little body pile. Let's go have a quick scan of the battlefield over here, because it looked like we had some insane little body piles all starting to build up here. Now look at that kill counter at the top there. The Krieg here and the rest of the Imperials only killed 876,000. That means that somewhere, something like 1.2 million of the cultists drowned while trying to take these fortifications. Oh my god, that has been absolutely amazing. That's a really cool rematch, and it does appear that the water is the true winner here, ladies and gentlemen, killing more than its fair share of troops on the battlefield. But of course, all good things must come to an end, and as always, I do hope you had a blast. I know I did. Please do comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. A massive shout out to all our channel members who help keep this channel going. And if you're not a channel member, why the heck not? Click the join button down below, and while you're at it, go ahead and check out the amazing Chaotic Pinky store. We got some really cool merch over there. With all that being said, as always, until next time, peace.